What's good? You're listening to Daniel and Gian Talk Shit. I am Gian.
And I'm Daniel.
And today we have two very special guests.
Two of them.
On Daniel's left,
My left.
Mr. Zack Bonilla.
Zack Bonilla.
What's up, dude?
To my right,
To his right.
Mr. Gian Fernando Perez,
That's me.
a.k.a.
That's him.
Fern.
Hell yeah.
So, yeah, guys, before we get started, I need to ask you a very serious question.
Why do so many people hate In-N-Out French fries?
Says who?
There are a lot of people out there that say that In-N-Out French fries
No,
are
I've heard
trash-ass
that.
French
Everywhere.
fries.
That's
Everywhere. They proclaim it. It's
Who?
worse.
Everybody.
It's worse
Yeah.
than Burger King is what I've heard, and I'm like, whoa.
People prefer McDonald's French fries.
Who was the last person who told you that? Actually, I have a better question. Does anyone at this table think In-N-Out French fries suck?
I don't fall in that wagon, man.
See, I don't think, you can make an argument they're not the best, but the thing that I like about them is I know they're fresh.
Yep.
I see them, like, smashing out the potatoes
Zach knows he works there.
every time.
He worked there, excuse me. He
Good
worked
shit,
there in high
man.
school.
I mean, they
How long
take
do you
care
work
of the
there,
potatoes.
like 3 weeks?
No, like a year.
A year?
Yeah.
I'm proud of you, man.
Hell yeah.
I feel like you...
It was the first job that I was like, God damn it, Zach, why'd you leave In-N-Out? It's so good for him at the time.
You probably made, like, more money there than you do now.
No, not at all.
No?
No.
He would be making more money now.
You'd be making, like, $17 an hour.
I make way more than that right now.
You'd be making... How much do you make?
25.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Suck it, Daniel.
If I was over there, I'd probably
I'm
be a
just
level
kidding.
3 making 15.
No,
Maybe
because
dressing a
15
fucking
is
burger with my
minimum wage
hands with
now.
the lettuce
You
and the
might be a
tomato.
manager.
If I was a manager, I'd kill myself.
Alrighty.
So let's rate the French fries. What's your favorite fast food French fry?
In-N-Out.
McDonald's.
McDonald's.
Okay, I like McDonald's French fries.
McDonald's. Especially when they come out hot.
Yeah, exactly.
And like there's just that right amount of salt too. Like,
You know.
Because sometimes they're hot and then
Those-
there's no salt and you're like, ugh.
Those preservatives are definitely tasty.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I'm
In-N-Out
not
is
saying-
right up there. Like,
Yeah.
if
I like the freshness of them now. I'm not gonna lie.
the
like,
only thing that I like about, I mean, not the only thing, but one of the biggest things that I like about McDonald's over In-N-Out fries is I can get a large fries.
Oh,
you
You
the
can't get
portion.
a-
Yeah. But you
I'd
just
have to
order
buy
two
two
fries.
let the
fries.
record show that Daniel is a size queen.
I'm just saying that's a big. That's why I actually like Five Guys, their Cajun fries.
Oh, because you get a bucket of fries.
Because you get a
Jesus.
fucking brown
Jesus
paper bag full
Christ.
of them. Hey man, fries are good.
Hey,
Fries are pretty damn
I mean,
good.
Chick-fil-A has those good
Crisp cut.
waffle fries. Those are all right. Burger King's fries kind of has stepped up.
I don't like Burger King's fries because they have that seasoning. They have like
Well, see, I don't mind.
There's
the
like this
seasoning.
weird thing, like Jack in the Box has the same thing to them. Yeah, there's something that I don't like that at all.
No.
All you guys that like those fries can suck a dick.
But-
Yeah, In-N-Out fries
But
are the shit,
I don't know
man.
who said In-N-Out fries
You-
suck.
A
a lot of people,
Do you
it's
think
out there.
that maybe the
Just-
reason that people hate In-N-Out fries so much is because they're fresh and like Americans
No, it's
are
probably
fat?
because they get cold too quickly. Usually is the main complaint,
That's true.
or it gets a little too soft, or they don't order it crispy, so it gets too hard if they do
Who
order
the fuck
crispy.
microwaves
And
French
when you
fries?
microwave them, they're not going to taste the same, obviously.
But
I mean,
who does that?
A bunch of people who are too
well,
lazy
Carlos
to eat. or
kind
they
of
get
just
full.
copped to him
apparently.
microwaving French fries. That's disgusting.
You know what I learned? No. What you do is mother.
You put them in the oven.
Exactly. I learned that in college.
We do that with pizza too. I mean, it's general rule.
You know the best way
You
to
don't need a
reheat pizza is
toaster.
actually on the stove.
Oh, on the pan.
Yeah.
Oh, low heat.
That's how you keep the bottom of it crispy because the moisture in the oven gets it kind of soggy.
Wait. So
Can we get some
hold
pizza?
on. So if you order a pizza and you don't finish it, you put it on one of those metal
Daniel's
pans.
never been in that
How do you
Yeah,
situation.
like a regular skillet, like what you can fry an
you just,
egg in.
and you just put your pizza on
You
there.
put your pizza in there. You don't put any oil or anything because the grease from the pizza makes it crispy. Like it reheats.
Oh my!
it.
I never even thought about that
Yeah,
shit.
man. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
He
that's the
never
only
does.
thing.
Well,
Like,
I
he
just,
doesn't
I
have to
just
worry about
no,
that.
I just eat it cold.
He's got that one like thin,
He might
the one
need to reheat
tiny
it 3 hours
slice
after
left.
he orders it.
It's got no cheese on it because he took the cheese off of it.
No, it ripped off with the other slice.
I'm not hungry enough to eat the last slice, but I'm definitely gonna take the cheese off.
I never knew that. Now I feel like getting pizza just to try that later.
Just
And then my mom will be like, "What are you doing?" And then I'll be like, "I'm making pizza." That's funny. I never thought
Grease
about
fire.
that. Yes,
Whoa.
I do. All right, I know how to cook too.
Getting
Believe
serious
it or
real
not.
fast.
he had to teach himself at USC.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I got a Mexican girlfriend. She's gonna make dinner all the time.
I only know how to make top ramen.
Cereal. There's a lot of cereal.
She's gonna keep the house clean. She's gonna cook every night.
fucking
Wrong.
coming home with
Wrong.
black feet.
Wrong.
Wrong.
Black feet.
Because it's so dirty.
All right, so let's jump right into it. How do you guys?
Speaking of black things,
Yeah.
let's talk about
Yeah.
Black China.
Did you know her
How
name
do you
doesn't
guys
have a
feel
K?
about Black China, the Black China Rob Kardashian conspiracy?
I think Daniel would like go
No,
through something
let's-
similar.
let's-
like
Let it
this.
be
Let's
known
ask our
that
guests.
you only have to be a female Kardashian to ruin lives.
Yeah, apparently. But I want to hear the guest's opinion before we chime in.
Honestly, I think you guys probably have a lot more information. My understanding is this guy rescued a wannabe, like some washed up stripper, and thinking that she was going to be loyal as
Talk
fuck.
a little bit closer to the mic.
And then she dumps him. I mean, she was dating a rapper and some other fools, right? Something like that. Gets with this guy.
Yeah,
and
Rob Kardashian.
Yeah. And then she leaves him, right?
Not just any guy,
It's Rob Kardashian. bro.
aka Kim Kardashian's little brother.
Yeah, but he's not that little. I mean, he's a
But this
huge
is
fucking
the
dude.
He
backstory
likes
to the
French fries.
backstory. Like people,
You could tell he likes French fries. and
most
fried
people
chicken.
know who he is already, right?
Yeah.
So Zach explaining like super backstory.
So what happened was,
This is like the third time this has happened
Yeah,
too. But,
but
it kinda,
this-
this one's kind of blown up.
he got banned from Instagram because he started posting naked pictures of her up, like to put her on blast.
Where the fuck were we?
But she was like cheating on him
Her
or
phone
whatever, and I
number.
guess he dumped like $100K into her after
her
she had the
surgery.
baby, so she could like get her body
Lap
back.
band.
Jesus.
And there's video. He posts videos of like him, like of her in the operating room, or like about to be put in the operating room, or something like that, and like actual nudes and shit to the point where he's like, "You guys notice her nipples look bad? It's because ever since the surgery that I paid for, they never look the same." Or like, and he, but the thing is though, here's the thing. Everyone's saying, well, everyone at least I follow and stuff on Twitter and everything,
Right.
that she won the whole situation.
Oh yeah, no, he looks like a punk.
Well, not even because of that, because that's her kid. They're always gonna be connected because
Right.
of that.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
they're fucked. Like at the end of the day, she could fuck whoever she wants.
Yeah, he's always gonna be paying for the kid.
He's always she's always because, especially I don't know Black China. I can't say I don't know her intentions, but like, and I can't say all strippers have a stripper mentality. But if she has a hustler mentality where all she cares about is the Benjamins, then a situation like this is just gonna blow her up. All bad publicity is good publicity, right?
Absolutely.
I mean,
No, definitely. She's a hood rat. She knows what she's doing. She knows how to manipulate the situation.
I think
This might be above his pay grade since he's only 15 in high school.
Yeah.
That's
And he
all right.
doesn't care about the Kardashians yet. He's
this
not
is a
into
Pepsi, by the way.
He's
This
not.
is not beer.
No,
'Cause
the
I
guy
believe
went
it's
to
illegal to
LAUSD.
consume alcohol on a show, isn't it?
Is
Like
it?
this? I think it might be.
Yeah, because Joe Rogan pays attention to that.
yeah, the last few podcasts I've been drinking the whole time.
Joints.
Well, no, that's on the
Ooh,
when
yeah.
they did that big podcast in front of everybody at the Comedy Store. They didn't do. Britt Kreischer brought his kids, and then they were like everyone was smoking pot and shit, and
That
they
wasn't
shut it
Britt
down.
Kreischer.
Oh, that's different.
It
Yeah.
was Jim Jeffries.
Well, because the comedy.
It was
oh,
also the
Jim
co-
Jeffries' kid.
He
Yeah,
brought
Jim
his
Jeffries'
kid.
And
kid.
comedy store's 21 and over.
So maybe that's why.
Yeah. It's
Oh.
a bar. It's not a house.
Oh,
private
okay.
residence.
Never mind
Yeah.
then. Excuse me. I don't know. Well, but anyway, does that mean like curb the conversation? Is that what you're saying?
No, I mean, how much deeper can we get into it?
Zach,
right? It's
Zach
like-
hit it right on the head.
It's like a superficial. Let's be real about the Kardashians.
Okay,
the
let's talk
Kardashians
about
aren't
something-
deep
let's-
at all.
Yeah,
let
kind
me
of just
let me
surface
ask
and
you
that's
something
it.
then, because on your social media,
Yeah.
how many people are talking about it?
Not many.
No one. So is it
No.
not even a thing?
Not really.
Two grown
Because
adults
I
having
feel
an issue.
like me, for my age, I feel like the younger generation, your generation, is what makes, or even me too. But like us, young people are really what's perpetrating it to be big. But if it's not in your circle, I wonder.
Yeah.
It's not.
I don't know.
Well, let's be fair too. Fernando, the only people he follows are pro wrestlers and
That's
pro
true.
wrestling.
That's
Oh,
an
okay.
accurate
So-
So
statement.
of course they're not talking.
They're not.
No, but like
They're like China?
My
The only
peers.
China in wrestling is R.I.P.
until Vince McMahon calls up Black China and puts her on Monday Night Raw, which might happen.
That's true. I mean,
WrestleMania. What is it? 34 next year. There you go. 34. Black China
Steve
and
Austin.
Rob
I mean,
together
the
in
Ball
the ring.
family.
You know, yeah. Let's talk about that. Speaking of Monday Night Raw, how did you feel about the Ball family coming on Raw?
it was horrible. Like there was no redeeming qualities about it, and things escalated quickly.
I thought LeVar was hilarious.
Yeah,
when he came out.
He was stupid though.
Did he take his shirt off or
Yeah,
something?
he took his shirt off, and it just killed Ed, like the entire mood in the place.
That's fucking hilarious.
Like celebrity guests never go well.
So is LeVar and who? Was it
LeVar,
Lonzo?
Lonzo, and LaMelo.
Which one said nigga?
LaMelo.
LaMelo.
What did he say? I just read a headline.
He just said, "Beat that nigga ass."
Twice. 2 times. Into a microphone.
Did it make the live broadcast?
Into a micro. Yeah, he said it directly into the microphone.
So
they
it's on
they
the-
didn't mute him.
That's a good
That's
man.
fucking
I mean,
interesting.
he's 16 years old, you know, and
Well-
you know, and apparently doesn't realize that wrestling is fake. He got caught up in the moment.
I wish you had the audio for
It was
this.
a total kayfabe.
He's taking his shirt off.
Shirts off.
I'll put the
What is he
video to
fucking-
this.
And he's doing like
Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
Who's he talking to? Who's he?
He's talking to the
The
Miz,
Miz.
The Miz.
on Miz TV.
So what happened? What caused them to get into the argument?
Yeah. Why did they even get brought out? Was it to celebrate Los Angeles?
Yeah, they were in LA, and the Miz was trying to become part of the Big Baller brand. I think that was what was
That
happening.
was the angle.
Yeah, and then like LeVar was like, "No, you suck." And then Dean Ambrose came out in a Big Baller brand shirt, and then that's what sparked.
I
the
like that
whole-
LaMelo has braces. Like LeVar realizes his grill is fucked up, and he doesn't want his kid to have the same grill.
Did they wrestle? Like, what did they do?
No, that was the plan, and then the words were spoken,
And
and
they
then they
kinda
got
just
called
shoot 'em
back.
off?
Yeah, they got called
And
back.
then white
backstage.
people freaked out that black people were saying nigga.
They sent out Dean Ambrose.
And then it got
on PG
and
programming.
then it turned into the Ball family's racist
towards themselves.
the racist comments on live broadcast television.
Yeah.
Can you? Okay, but let's expand upon this a little bit. Now they're in LA. Now it's no more talk about like, oh, I'm gonna have Lonzo to LA, whatever. He's here now, and now he's gonna be every night the Lakers don't win, maybe because I mean, just think about it. What happens? They don't pass the ball to Lonzo enough, quote unquote, whatever, right? Who's gonna be there talking that shit?
Okay, so right there, that phrase you just said, you just let the whole world know you don't know a fucking
He's the
thing
passer,
about
so
basketball.
he's the guy who passes. As soon as I said it,
he's gonna take the ball up the court every single time. So.
But I don't fucking care what I said if it was wrong. But you get my point. Any little thing, I know. As soon as it's said, I'm like,
Everything
he's the guy.
he's gonna get blown up. Do you think
Do you think that like
if the Lakers don't
will
win,
silence him?
if the Lakers don't go to the playoffs because his dad's big ass mouth, people are gonna talk shit about that. I mean, they're already saying over under they're gonna win 36 games. I listened to the what's his face, Colin Cowherd said, run to Vegas right now and drop $1,000 on the under because there's no way they're gonna win 36 games.
Some people have faith.
Colin's pretty smart though.
I'm just saying.
Well, if you listen to his show,
I used
he
to.
is definitely a gambler, and he doesn't like. He's not overt about it, but he does say some things. Where like, okay, this guy likes to
Clearly,
play
he
the
knows
lines.
enough
He likes to
for-
play the lines. Yeah.
Well, maybe that benefits his like sports talk too.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I think
Because
that's
obviously, I feel like the people who set those markers in Vegas,
Yeah.
they know more about the sport
Oh,
than anyone else.
yeah, he talks about it like Vegas. The wise guys think this. The wise guys are usually right. They wouldn't say it. You know, the things that the line gets affected by people betting on it. So let's say right now, I don't know what the. Can you look up what the odds are for McGregor Mayweather? Well, the way the odds work is so the wise guys in Vegas, as they like to call them, they set the line, and the more people bet, the more the line gets affected. So let's say right now, what are the odds?
What is this? How do you interpret this?
Okay, so
60,
McGregor is a 4-1 underdog. So if you bet $10, you would make $40 if McGregor were to win. So
I'm betting on McGregor.
let's say closer to the fight, 1,000 people bet on McGregor.
Well, it changes it because
Yeah.
now all of a sudden no one's betting on Mayweather, so
Right.
now it's kind of switched.
Yeah, so the line gets smaller. Like the later you get on the bet, so it might be by the time the fight comes around, it might be like 1.5 to 1.
So the
McGregor.
odds are still in Mayweather's favor. It's
Yeah.
just because of the amount of. But so if you place your bet early, you get to lock in those odds.
Yes,
So
exactly.
you bet at the odds now.
Yeah. If you're gonna do the underdog, you bet on McGregor now because it's such a long shot. During the fight, though, if they get closer, like let's say it's one, like I said,
It's not going to change.
let's say it's negative 500 or negative like half a point for McGregor. So if you bet $150, you make $100. That's great because we're all assuming Mayweather's going to win. So you drop 1,000, you're going to make
Right.
or you drop 1,500 on Mayweather, you're going to make $1,000. So yeah, I mean that's just how it works. But the initial line, when Vegas sets it, It's usually something you can trust. You know, they're usually pretty good on it. They always, you know, they call it the NBA season, they call it the baseball season. Very rarely does a team come out of nowhere.
Otherwise, Vegas wouldn't win.
Right.
They wouldn't be in business.
No,
That's the whole
yeah,
point.
exactly. No, they know what they're doing. You know, trust the odds. You know, sometimes they get them wrong. Sometimes they're like, okay, well, this game's going to be 3.5 points, and you're like, how is this a 3.5 point game? Like these guys are definitely a touchdown better. So
Well, do you
take
think the
that bet.
Lakers are? Do you think the Lakers are moving to go back to what we were? Do you think the Lakers are at least moving in the right direction? That they might be, you know, not a Kobe team again, but
I think they did. Getting rid of D'Angelo Russell was smart because I feel like they missed. They should have drafted Porzingis. They messed up that pick. They took a guy who might end up being a decent player, but not a number 2 pick overall, and they were able to get rid of him, and they were able to get a solid center. You know, an all-star center in Brook Lopez. And then they got Lonzo Ball, who, you know, some people
We don't
think
know.
we don't know yet.
He could.
You know, this draft's all over the place. Like I was listening today, like the number 1 pick's only 6'3". It's like he's only 6'3", and then
That's
the guy
pretty
that
small.
the Celtics traded the number 1 pick to go down. The guy they traded, he's 6'9", and they have similar skill sets. They can shoot, they can dribble.
well, you
know.
probably always want the taller
You always want
guy.
a taller guy, yeah, especially
Almost
in
always.
basketball.
Especially with the same skill
Shit.
set.
In any sport, you know, you're
yeah,
gonna take the 6'5" guy
unless
over the
maybe
5'9"
like
guy.
soccer or something, because I don't know, do taller people tire out faster?
I mean, that I don't know. I don't know much about. You
Me
know,
either.
I mean, although I think Messi, the best player in soccer, is like 5'9". You know, but
that's-
Ronaldo's like 6'1". So,
Oh, I don't know. All I know is I can't play soccer.
like,
so
a guy that's like 6'7", you wouldn't want to play basketball.
Me too.
I mean,
Yeah.
soccer. So,
I have no. Zach played soccer, didn't you?
Nope. Never played soccer. Fuck that.
I played soccer in high school.
so
How'd you go? All right.
That's why he switched to baseball.
I played baseball.
Yeah, me too.
oh man. So, Fern is down spending the month with me. We're going to go to Comic-Con later. We went to, you guys familiar with New Japan Pro Wrestling?
No.
Carlos is.
I have heard of it, yeah.
I'm in by name. I haven't seen. Obviously, you can't watch it on TV or anything.
All right, so it's the number 1 promotion in Japan, I believe, right?
Yeah.
And they did their first ever live show in the U.S. Last weekend.
It was broadcast?
It's called GS1. They did a pay-per-view on
Yeah,
Sunday.
it was the G1
Or
broadcast.
G1, I said
Yeah,
GS1.
G1 special, yeah.
The G1 special.
It's broadcast on Access TV.
So it was broadcast.
Okay.
But then they did a pay-per-view on the Sunday the following because they did.
Pay per view in Japan and free here.
No.
No,
The
they did
first day
3
was on the
nights.
show.
They did 3 nights. So the first night was the so they had a tournament for the U.S. the inaugural U.S. championship, and then the Sunday was the pay-per-view to decide who the.
Who was the main? who
And then
was
on Monday, I guess they had an extra night. And they're like, "Fuck,
I think
we're
that was
gonna
just
do
a
another
live
show."
event, though. They didn't broadcast that. I think it was just.
Oh, like a house show.
How's the
show.
format different than WWE?
Well, it's definitely smaller. All the seats were like on the same plane.
That's
Whoa.
yeah.
I mean, it was sold out. I'm guessing.
Well, you told me the tickets were pretty.
Yeah, they were
not
expensive.
cheap.
They were not cheap. It was sold out, and everybody in there was like hardcore into it. Like these are hardcore wrestling fans are into this stuff. I'm gonna guess there's 3,000 people.
I mean, that's pretty decent
No,
for a
it's-
Japanese
Oh
promotion.
yeah, especially first time too.
That's what I'm saying. So you mean there's a following for sure?
Yeah, definitely. Like they all knew the chants. There's people wearing T-shirts already, so they've been ordering shirts online. You know,
Well, it's also because since they're connected to another promotion
Oh,
in the
that's-
States called Ring of Honor, they sell their merch there too.
I've never heard of
They
this
work
place
together,
either.
Ring of Honor is what made CM Punk.
and yeah.
Like they're based out of Chicago.
So there's still a lot of like independent little like wrestling circuits.
Yeah,
There's
definitely.
just no big guys anymore. TNA's gone, right?
TNA merged with another company. Yeah, TNA merged with another company recently called Global Force Wrestling, and now they're just basically TNA's dead. So they got taken
who
over.
are the big hitters? There's WWE, obviously. You have how big would you consider that show on Robert Rodriguez's
Lucha
channel?
Underground?
Lucha Underground?
Yeah,
I don't know how big is it. You tell me.
It's not huge. Like the venue.
but I mean I know about it.
Yeah.
That's the only like.
It's because it's not like it's not a classic wrestling show, so people wouldn't really consider it even in the same category as WWE, because it's more like cinematic based than.
I liked the few little things that I've seen. I like. I don't know, but who else? 'Cause I know TNA at the time was big, like a few years ago.
Well, I don't
Ring of
know.
Honor.
It was big because they had all the
old
old
OGs,
WCW
yeah.
wrestlers and some old WWE wrestlers, like trying to keep it alive. but it never. I don't think. I think they went on tour once. They didn't do house shows. They were always in Florida. You know, they always
Just doing the show there.
Yeah, they always did their live show in Orlando.
They probably couldn't afford it.
No, definitely not.
Because I mean, I always knew that like it was never the same. It was always different. But I don't know. I just the reason why I asked is because the WWE style of wrestling is infiltrate. I mean, Bellator is WWE, but UFC, like just real fighting. Like, have you ever watched Bellator recently?
No, you're saying production value wise?
Production wise, like the way they put on their show. 'Cause, UFC is like boxing in terms of like you follow the fighter out,
Yeah.
whatever. They have music like a boxer, and then Bellator is not that way at all. Like Bellator, there's a ramp they walk down just like WWE. They have graphics, like theme songs, pyro, like literally, like people are like, it's
So it's like the old Pride Pride fights.
yeah. And but but you can tell like the camera move, like they definitely copied WWE, and I feel like that's kind of cool because it kind of gets you a little hyped up for things,
Right.
whatever. And then they have the commentators. They have the old, he did Pride and then went to WWE.
Mauro.
And then and now they have Mike Goldberg too on Bellator.
Whoa.
I actually like. It's pretty interesting. I mean, it's a different. I like that there's an alternative to UFC.
Right.
But the only thing is, I hope one day it becomes boxing in a way where there's like
Or they can fight each other. There's cross promotion.
right,
fights.
but it's like for like some super title or
Yeah.
something. Like there's the super whatever, and I feel like that could happen at some point.
That's the biggest issue I have with MMA is like,
There's no-
they have these separate organizations and they don't fuck with each other.
But I mean, boxing.
Unlike boxing.
Boxing, but see the problem with boxing
They have
is
the
you have
promoters
the
that
promoters
don't mess with each other.
and there's no Dana White.
No.
Like, I mean,
But on the other hand, you get fined if you like turn down a fight. Like you'll lose your title if you don't fight someone. So like,
eventually though,
eventually, yeah. But I mean, there's a drama. But let's we're getting off topic here. What did you think about the card?
The card was really stacked for like a New Japan show. Like it had all their top stars on it. So that was
Who are some of the top stars for people out there who don't know?
Kenny Omega is like the biggest star in New Japan besides the current champion, who's Kazuchika Okada. He's the main eventer every single show. And so basically New Japan has the best wrestlers in the world in most people's opinions, like better than WWE, because it's a lot more sport style, like the value and stuff. It's a lot more sport looking, like the way they film it and stuff is mostly, it's a lot more like how you said it was like boxing. It's more like that, where it's like more
they
competition.
try to take it more like a fight.
Yeah, it's more like a fight than because of personal issues with each other, stuff like
There's
that.
no storylines then.
Well, there are,
theatrics.
but it's not a lot.
There's definitely less microphone and definitely less story buildup. It was more about the actual wrestling. I noticed that a lot. And the matches themselves are like way more athletic wrestlers. They're not just these big guys choke slamming
No big
people.
shows.
No, nothing like that. Like everyone in the ring could move pretty well. A lot of like acrobatics and stuff.
So it's probably really well rehearsed then. They probably take time. Instead of writing a good storyline, they're going to write a good match. Like, does that make sense?
Yeah, like the match is the story.
They make sure
Yeah.
like they hit all their beats in this like in the ring as opposed to like behind the scenes. I can respect that. It's interesting. My thing is like, how the fuck do you find out who's interesting or not?
Well, they do have characters. Like a lot of the people, they had like hand signs and move, and like people said their chants, like he said. So it was real. There's a lot of character work in the ring, but they don't really talk on the microphone outside of that.
Well, I'm saying like, okay, like for example,
They
like,
have stables.
Yeah.
So they have all these guys. Like there's a
so you go to watch New Japan Wrestling, not necessarily to go watch John Cena or something. Obviously, he's not fighting for them, but you don't go for someone. You just go because it's New Japan.
Well, I think
Yeah.
people
Well-
went because of the stables. Like there's like a big one's called Bullet Club. So all of this huge group of wrestlers are all part of that stable, and there's people wearing Bullet Club shirts. People are wearing specific stable. There's a Japanese stable where the leader speaks Spanish, and
Nice.
they're called, what is it called?
Los Ingobernables de Japón.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And they're all Japanese.
they're all
They're all
Japanese. Yeah,
But they speak. I mean, they must have been a hit here.
Like they have a Japanese luchador, who's not really a luchador. He just wears a mask named Bushi.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's not as serious then in terms of like. What I mean is in WWE they try to make you believe that like so and so just drove an ambulance into someone and like what
Yeah.
like we know it's all fake, but they
Right.
really try to believe.
Well,
Right?
I know.
This is definitely more about the matches.
Right.
Yeah.
It's more about. It's like remember that episode of South Park where they were making fun of WWE.
No.
Because there's an episode
yeah.
where like, so WWE. Cartman and them, I guess they start their own wrestling federation, and people then blow up, and no wrestling ever happens.
Called
It's just them.
WTF.
It's just them talking on the mic. It's a
It's a soap opera.
That's hilarious. Dude, South Park kills it. That's funny.
It's John Cena and Edge.
That's hilarious.
In the South Park episode.
That's funny.
and it's like I think they're watching the WWE, and they're like,
Yeah.
"What the hell? When are they gonna wrestle?" And then Cartman's like, "Wait a second, we could do this ourselves." You know,
Yeah.
that's the worst Cartman.
I
voice
mean, that's
ever.
that's a good separation between WWE then if it's all about that. 'Cause
Yeah.
then you're gonna be entertained. Because you could go to Raw and it might not be good. Like
Right.
you might go to a bad show or whatever. You might the
Yeah.
matches might not be interesting or whatever. Like
Yeah.
the last WrestleMania, I didn't think was all that
Yeah.
great.
The
Like,
one at
and
the
that's-
Honda Center?
No, WrestleMania, the one wherever it was last year. Where was it?
Yeah,
Texas?
yeah, Dallas.
But I'm just
Oh.
saying, like, that's a lot. That's a big ticket, and
Oh,
you
yeah.
really
Oh,
don't
yeah.
know. You kind of know, but like, I feel like with this, there's a reputation around
Yeah.
the matches. You're getting that good no matter what.
And it kind of, what I noticed was like people are definitely still into wrestling. Like there was hardcore fans there, and I mean we paid
Well, I know this for a fact,
150
for
bucks
sure.
a pop.
Those autographs, the Shawn Michaels,
Yeah,
bro. Like, I thought I was a nerd. These fucking people were like, I mean, this guy
well,
came
tell
up,
the story.
So Gian was in the Bay, and he asked if I would go to what's the place called?
Frank and Sons.
Frank and Sons. I guess they do an autograph session with some like celebrity on that like level once a month or something. And Shawn Michaels was going to be there, and he had 2 comic books, Shawn Michaels comic books, and he wanted me to have them signed, and they were $75 a pop, right?
Yeah,
And so I'm like, sure, whatever. You know, it's a 20-minute drive, 40-minute drive, whatever, with traffic. And I'm expecting 10 people to show up, something like that. It's Shawn Michaels, so maybe 20 people, 30 people. Dude, that shit was so... You couldn't get a parking. And then on top of that, the line was like... There was like 15 snakes all around. Like, it was long. There was a lot of people. And they were just decked out with belts and like... With people... Literally, there were people there who were wearing nothing. Just the vest, Shawn Michaels vest, like just fat dudes that were wearing Shawn Michaels vest.
Fuck yeah.
because he's the sexy boy, and like
right.
I don't know, like if they were gonna make him sign his tits or like what was gonna go on. But there was girls too. I mean, like there was girls who came by themselves, like just like so. It's a big thing. And then some
Women or girls?
both. Well, I mean, not little girls. Like there's little girls, yes, and then there's women like adults with boobs and
Adults.
stuff. But so some guy presented a belt, a TV belt,
Right.
I guess that was in the 80s or 70s or something, and he presented it to Shawn Michaels to have it signed. He's like, oh man, he was like super fucking surprised. Like, where the
Right.
hell did you get this shit? Like, I guess like this belt was like when wrestling was only on like one certain channel.
Or when it was all territories.
Yeah,
so it probably belonged
and it
to.
was like, and so it was like, what the hell? And then when I, I'm just like, Jesus, how long has this guy had this belt? Like, no, there was no signatures on it, so I wonder if like he kept it for that day whenever he would meet Shawn Michaels, like this was his belt or some shit. But anyway, yeah, so wrestling is definitely not dead, for sure. There's no way people can say it's dead because almost all the events sell out.
Right.
They're still selling out at the Staples Center. The fact that they're still at the Staples Center when they come to LA or the Honda Center or whatever, that says it all. to
Yeah,
me.
it does say a lot.
Otherwise, they'd be playing at what? A gym? I mean, or
Yeah.
not going anywhere like TNA, obviously.
Yeah.
That's what you said. They stayed in Florida. So it's just like, I don't know. But yeah, that's cool. They're not going to come back again till next year, or what? What's the
Probably. No, they said that they want to make it like a regular thing now. Like they didn't want it to just be, oh, remember that one time they did a show in the U.S.? They wanted it to be like a recurring
U.S.
thing.
or California again?
The U.S. I think they'll probably want to come back to Long Beach, but they said they might want to go to like Chicago or.
Because
Yeah,
to me,
if
Long Beach.
it'll only work in a big city. I
Yeah,
think it's
and
not
'cause-
gonna work if they go to like
Nebraska.
somewhere in Texas or Nebraska. Yeah.
So that's what, yeah. So yeah, because the fact that they went to Long Beach and not like the Staples Center or something says they're not that big,
Right.
but big enough that they can get people from LA to go to Long Beach. Obviously, you guys.
I think it had to do with it being a 3-day event.
Oh, that's true. You
So
can't
it was
rent
like
the Staples Center for 3
so
days.
it was like, okay, we could do Long Beach for cheaper, and it was
That's true.
and it was packed. People came from all over the state too. I heard people saying they came down from the Bay for it. I don't know from where else. I'm sure people came from Nevada. Like people traveled for this event. I wouldn't.
Did they do Q&As and shit, or is it just the show and that's
I have
it?
no idea.
Before the show, they did
Or not
like
Q, but
signings.
like a meet and greet, yeah.
Yeah, they did meet and greet
Not
signings
Q&A.
before the first show, I think. I don't know if they did it before the second show, but like if you showed up early, you could like.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever gets like your mind off of shit on the daily. Like I just, if it's wrestling, it's just. Well, I'm saying for adults, like there's a stigma for like people who watch wrestling as they get older. Like it's a kids thing, like 'cause it's fake, and it's like
Yeah, no.
there's something to just watching like the theatrics of wrestling, and it's just I don't know. Especially
I think it's
see
just
crazy shit.
It's not as popular as it was during the Attitude Era, where
Oh, for
everybody,
sure.
where it was like just so mainstream that everybody was watching it, and because of that,
Well, because there's no more Rock. There's not a Rock. There's not a Stone Cold.
No.
There's no heavy hitters
Right.
like that on that level. Like,
right, it just doesn't have the characters it used to have. It's not the same. Who was your favorite wrestler growing up, Zach, if at all?
I really like Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Okay.
That was the shit back in the day. But otherwise, I didn't really have another one. I didn't pay too much attention after 2000. Then I started paying attention to wrestling.
So you stopped watching at a really young age.
Yeah, like 2002 was probably the last time I saw a wrestling match.
Okay.
And, like followed one. I mean, I've seen them here and there on cable, reruns and whatnot, but Stone Cold Steve Austin and NWO and all those fools, that was the shit. But that's about right.
Okay. What about you? When did you stop watching wrestling completely, Daniel?
I don't know. Like right around when John Cena was around, so I don't know when he debuted. He was the Thug Life, like
Yeah, with the chain around his
the
neck.
rapper.
Spinner belt.
The whole like you can't the new John Cena, like I missed that whole wave. So like whenever he switched over, I think I remember him switching over and be like, who the fuck is this guy? Like this is fake. And then that's when I stopped.
I think it
not
happened-
because of that, but like
If I'm not mistaken, I think it happened after he did the Marine.
Yeah.
so around
Yeah.
whenever that was.
Okay, so that wasn't that long ago, though. I'm guessing like 6, 7 years ago.
I feel like it was longer than that.
Yeah, it was like 2005, 2006.
It was longer.
Okay, 10 years ago.
Yeah,
11 years.
right around
But he's
around
been,
before high school. So like right around middle school probably is when I stopped watching it. And what I mean is like
So
I wasn't
John
watching
Cena,
it
John Cena
religiously.
ruined wrestling for you.
Yeah.
No. That's
I'd
just
say,
my
like,
that's
yeah,
my
Coincidence?
marker.
Stopped.
I don't think so.
That's my marker because I remember. Well, I watched it when Brock Lesnar was wrestling.
Right.
Um,
He came in like towards the end of the Attitude Era.
so Brock was like one of the main like he came big, and then I would catch something every now and then like I remember Umaga, not Umaga.
Rikishi.
No, the big dude. I always fucking
The
forget his
big
name.
Kali.
Great.
Oh, the
Great
guy from
Khali.
the Adam Sandler movie where he's in
Great
prison.
Khali?
Him? No, is it him?
Is he
The
Indian?
Indian guy?
Yeah, he's
That
like.
can
Isn't he
talk and-
dead?
Yeah.
No, he's still alive.
No, he's still
He
alive.
killed someone.
He was in that one movie, Longest
He
Yard.
was like 7'6", right?
No, they exaggerated that. He's like 6'8",
No, he was
No,
fucking.
No, he was
like,
big.
He was like 7'1".
7 feet.
Yeah.
not 7'8".
And he could barely walk. He
Yeah,
used to walk
I
funny.
thought he died. I
Like
thought,
bone
I thought you said
disease.
someone died.
He
I thought
hand chopped
died.
No,
someone
he's
and
still
killed
alive.
him.
Or he might die young because he's still tall.
Yeah, he's got what? He's so big because he has a condition. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not good
Yeah.
genetics.
Gigantitis or something.
Yeah.
It's called
Wasn't
something
he in
like
the Expendables?
I don't know.
No, he was
But
in that
I'm just
movie,
saying,
The
like-
Longest Yard.
I remember that, but not too much after that. Like, it just changed because like CM Punk, I never heard of CM Punk. Like the first time I ever saw CM Punk in action, honest to God, was at UFC. I had never seen one of his matches.
Really?
I never watched his rant when he quit or whatever on WWE
Right.
until the UFC played it as a promo. I never saw any of that shit.
You missed out.
But I mean, but I just to, like any of these new
Same
people, I
shit.
just don't know. Like I don't know. I know them now because I've watched like the WrestleMania the last 2 years. But the dude with the lantern, Wyatt.
Bray
Oh, Bray
Wyatt.
Wyatt.
Let's see. Who else? The dude who can't wrestle anymore. The fucking Daniel.
Daniel
Daniel
Bryan.
Bryan.
Never saw a match of his like prior to WrestleMania. Who else is big? Dean Ambrose is kind of big too.
It's the
Never
Shield
s-
guys.
But these are new people. Like I've never.
Right.
The Miz, like never.
Miz has been around for a
Yeah, he's been around
long
for a while.
time.
Maybe as something
He was in
else
that
then.
cheerleading
He's always
squad
been the
group, right?
Miz. No.
That wasn't him.
But he couldn't have been around when Brock Lesnar was wrestling.
Yeah.
He was.
Not in the first time Brock was
The
around.
Miz has been around at least.
He can't be because he was. To me, he's new.
I feel like he came around
Who's
like
the other dude? Seth
2005.
When they
Rollins?
did that show,
was
the
after
reality
that.
show, what's
Really?
it called? He was on the first
yeah, he
season
was
of
on
that.
the Real World. That's
He was
where.
on
That's
that.
how he got to it.
Maybe.
I like Seth Rollins though. Like to me, Seth Rollins. 'cause-
So when I was living in Hollywood with Joey, I was started watching Raw again. So maybe the Miz was that was when the Miz started. So like 2008, 2009, maybe.
yeah, because I was gone at that
I feel like
point
he's
for
been
sure.
around.
he's been around
You know what else though?
longer.
I still play the I stopped watching wrestling, but I still played the
The video
WK.
games?
Yeah, the WWE
2K?
2K games. Yeah.
I mean, they're just fun. I would
They
always
are.
I would always get them. I would get the SmackDown ones. I would never get the other because I think there was always two games. It was like SmackDown and Raw.
And then they fused them.
Yeah.
SmackDown versus Raw.
Yeah.
So but I would always get the SmackDown games, and then I would create characters. Like that was my thing because you could like really like go detailed into some of them at the time.
I
when
really
you were-
miss WCW. That was the shit.
Well, during the WCW was the best
It was.
during the Monday Night Wars, like the
Thanks, Zach,
late
for contributing to the conversation.
late 90s.
That's as far back. That's like that was his only wrestling.
They had a lot of great stuff. The NWO stuff was great. You know, the
No,
Goldberg
WCW was
run.
cool.
The brand
I really
wars.
liked WCW because
Goldberg, that video game was badass when it came on PS1 and PS2.
there was a
Jesus
Goldberg
Christ.
video game.
Well, no, it was a
It was like
WCW video game, but it
versus
featured-
NWO.
Oh,
video
yeah.
game.
Featured Goldberg as like the main guy for the WCW.
Well-
I mean, to this day, I'm like
Ric Flair was.
I'm watching with rose-colored glasses here, but Nintendo 64 WrestleMania was the best wrestling game ever made, and
Never
it was
played it.
actually they used the same exact engine that they WCW versus NWO, which came out before.
That was a
I
good
don't- my
game.
first, my
I like-
first, my
I
first,
played that one.
My first wrestling game was WCW Nitro, so I don't know.
There was I think it was a SquareSoft were the programmers for it, and then they sold the licenses to somebody else. I can't remember who came after, and the graphics completely changed, and it just the gameplay changed, and it just wasn't.
Well, that's
the
what happened in
same.
the baseball games.
Oh yeah, the EA games. I like the EA games.
So
Baseball game.
MVP baseball, they're actually now most people transition to the 2K. So like when you play 2K games now, or not 2K,
Right.
the show.
The show, MLB
The
the
show?
show.
If you play the show on the
THQ,
PS4,
huh?
it plays just like the old school like MVP games. Yeah, I never played that one on the N64. I was an N64 person. Just GoldenEye when I played with my cousins. That's it.
I
actually fucking hate Nintendo.
I borrowed my buddy's Nintendo 64, and I didn't give it back for like a month because of that game. Like I was playing till
What
like
was it called? The
7 in the morning.
WrestleMania?
Yeah, THQ. Yeah,
Oh, I think I have.
WrestleMania
Yeah,
for Nintendo 64.
I only bought a GameCube to play Godzilla. Like that's the only reason why I got it. and then like the Metal Gear Solid, there was a Metal Gear Solid remake that came out only on the
It's
GameCube.
WrestleMania 2000.
That was it. Yep.
Yeah, I
WrestleMania
never
2000.
played that. Oh, I played that.
I
I
have
played that
played
on
it.
the Game Boy though. I had played that on the Game Boy.
Not the same.
The cover art,
My
just
first-
like
I know,
played
but
it.
I played on the Game Boy because it was on the
Nintendo
Game Boy
64
Color.
had like 75 different buttons on that controller.
Dude,
I do remember playing it
game
on the
was
Game
lit.
Boy because it had the Rock, the old school Rock. Yep.
Mankind, Big
But
Show.
but see, yeah, just it's. Do you feel like there'll ever be another like Attitude Era type where you have that much popular stuff?
No, because the characters just aren't.
Well, even if they just try to bring.
I
it
mean,
old
I don't
school
think
or
it's ever
something.
going to go away because now it's like a fabric. It's like a part of American culture.
Well, yeah, because The Rock's always going to go back
Yeah.
to a WWE event
But
to
I
promote a movie or whatever.
right, you know, they have that. They have the built-in promotion going on. But I think, I don't know. It's just not.
Do you think
I mean, you'll
wrestling's
never-
going to change because of the head trauma? Like more and more we learn that like people are going to do less and less of their bodies.
I mean, he would know more about that.
I mean, I
They're
feel like it's
banning
actually
moves.
gotten worse. Yeah, they are banning moves, but they're
Like
mostly
what?
The
power.
curbs.
Like they're banning. Yeah,
Seth
they're banning
Rollins
power, yeah.
move.
Oh, you told me about that.
They're banning like strikes and power moves more than like the flippy stuff, because they won't let people do like flippy moves and things like that unless they're trained to do that. So like Brock
So you
Lesnar,
won't have a Brock Lesnar.
Brock
where he
Lesnar can
almost
climb to the
break
top
your
rope,
neck?
and yeah,
Shooting star
Dude, I
press.
remember seeing that
Yeah.
shit live, and I was like, "What the
Broke his neck?
fuck, dude?" Okay, so Brock Lesnar's a freak, right?
yeah.
He's like,
So he got to the top turnbuckle. Carlos will show you, and he literally did a. What did he do? A 5-star
A shooting star press,
shooting, which is literally it's basically a backflip. You do
but
a backflip.
moving forward.
Yeah, it's a backflip, and you land on them, right?
It's a backflip that goes forward.
Yeah.
not
so-
front. It's a backflip.
And he fucking
But you
landed
go
on his head.
forward.
So you go.
Basically.
Wait, outside of the ring?
Look,
Okay, so
look,
check
look,
it
look.
out. So
He's at the corner of the
He's-
turnbuckle.
so let's say you know how people
Watch,
do a
Zach.
backflip,
Just watch it.
Watch the video.
shooting star press.
We're gonna put it up.
Oh, whatever.
See, he's on the top rope, goes forward, misses.
Yes!
And Kurt
He
Angle
landed on
reacts
his-
like
he couldn't- He
fucking.
landed on his head and he missed, but like, I don't even know if he won the match. I think he still
No,
lost
he-
the match.
Kurt Angle was supposed to lose, and then Kurt Angle just pins him at the end.
Yeah, because it was like,
But- 'cause-
No, he kept
he was
going,
concussed.
bro.
He was concussed. Like he
Oh, he
said, he
kicked
didn't
out of it.
remember.
Yeah, he did.
He didn't remember anything. Like
Kurt Angle's insane. No, not Kurt Angle. Brock Lesnar's insane because he's just not a human person.
he's not. He's a beast. He's a freak. And the fact that he fucking flipped over that just shows you how much of a freak he is. But he did it out of like I have no idea why he did that.
Well, it's because he used to do it like when he was training, like in the
When he was off the juice.
what's it called?
Football?
Ohio Valley Wrestling, which is like the
OVW.
Oh, so
Yeah.
they were teaching him how to like
no,
be
he,
acrobatic.
that was his, that used to be his finisher. Like he used to do that every match, and this was like the
so
one
he
time
just
he messed
figured
up.
like I'm gonna fucking pull my old trick out of the bag
in
and
the
impress
pay-per-view,
everyone.
yeah.
And he fucked
It was-
up.
I mean, it was the main event of WrestleMania.
No,
so-
I understand. I remember. I watched this. I
Yeah.
watched it. I remember it. I watched it live.
I mean, he's just showing off his athleticism. I mean, the only before him, the last big guy to do like top rope stuff was Bam Bam Bigelow, and obviously Bam Bam Bigelow is not as impressive physically
Well, 'cause,
as
yeah,
Brock.
Brock is a beast.
Yeah.
I remember like okay.
Brock's a fucking gorilla. Like
of all time, like live moments that you watch, what was the most oh shit moment live? Not that you saw previously, but live.
it's got to be one of Shane O'Mac's like jumping off,
Hell in a Cell.
Shocking
yeah,
shit.
jumping off the top of something and through, you know,
Did you see the Undertaker match?
with Shane O'Mac.
No, with Mankind.
I didn't see that live. No,
I did. I saw that shit live. That's
That
not
was
my.
insane.
To me, that's not my oh shit
you were
moment.
like 4.
I saw it live though. I saw it live. Wrestling was big in my house. The match. It was like a SmackDown event where like Big Show got chokeslammed or something, and the fucking ring collapsed.
It was a superplex, wasn't it?
Something like that.
Yeah.
It was like some. Look it up. The ring collapsed, and they cut the event early. I don't even think it was supposed to happen. Genuinely.
Right.
Yeah, but then recently they've been doing that on purpose.
Well, I'm sure
it
now.
looks cool.
Yeah.
Which one?
But
There's so many now.
Big Show is the Big Show right there, right there. Hold
I
on,
know,
scroll
but-
down a little bit, right here. That one.
Him and
But
Brock
that was a
Lesnar.
no shit moment. But I think the
Right.
Undertaker one was pretty big. I don't remember seeing what's his name die, but I watched that event, that pay per view.
Owen Hart.
Owen Hart, yeah. I don't think they ever showed it live.
Tried to do that.
When he
No,
he
he
tried
was-
to
he
come
was
down.
ziplining
to the-
down, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he. Oh,
But
yeah.
I did
he
watch.
fell from the line and
Yeah,
hit his head
see,
on the
look-
turnbuckle.
Oh shit!
Look at this.
So that wasn't planned.
I don't know. I don't know if it was.
Seems
Maybe
planned.
it was.
Yeah.
Okay, but like
And
when
then
I
you
was
s-
a little kid, it wasn't planned. Okay.
when you've never seen it before, that just shocks everybody.
Oh.
Because that
I
was
think
not a
that Big
thing.
Show
They
said-
they did not
Like
do
the
this.
first Hell in a Cell match, or not the first, but was the Mankind one the first one?
No, the first one was
It
against
was
Shawn
Kane.
Michaels.
It was the first big one. It was the first one where someone
The
got
second
thrown
one.
off of it.
Yeah, the Mankind Undertaker Hell in a Cell.
That
was
wasn't
like
planned, right? When
That's
he went through the
no.
gate.
That's
crazy.
when Mankind lost
That's
all
a-
of his teeth.
Yeah, that's a crazy fight, and that's just how willing people were going. Like they were to like entertain. Because you got to think like, yeah, Mick Foley might be crazy enough to let someone choke slam, but you got to think Undertaker has to feel like, okay, I'm about to do this. I need to make sure I'm confident that I can do. It's not just
Right.
you know what I mean. If I fuck up, I'm killing him.
Yep.
Not that he's gonna get charged with it or whatever, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, definitely. That's
Because
crazy
I mean,
stuff.
but this is probably the best fight of all time. Period. Like when people ask, like, why do you watch wrestling? It's because
Just
of
show
shit
'em
like
this, yeah.
this. Because I mean, look at that. He just threw him off a fucking cage.
I mean, there's so many
onto the
great
table.
matches. There's like the Scott Hall HBK match, ladder match. That was one of the first ladder matches WWE did.
I've probably seen it on old VHS.
It was a great match.
They used to do that for like
Classic.
they used to make mixtapes on VHS.
Oh, yeah.
We talked about that before.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
they don't have mixtapes anymore. Well, like you could actually go down way back in the day and go to your like Blockbuster, and they would have like whatever, because there's no internet, so like that was the only way you're gonna watch the Warrior Ultimate Warrior fight.
Right.
That's the only way, because he wasn't on wrestling during the Attitude Era. You know, people like that. You know, so and then sometimes like I would learn about people like Big Boss Man and stuff, and then they came back when I was starting to watch. Like, so it was this weird.
So
thing.
you had like a relationship with him.
Yeah,
And didn't even realize
so
it.
I mean, I don't know. Like, we talked about it before on the podcast. It probably can't be the same because you had like the Ho Train. Like, could you imagine
Oh yeah,
the
there's stuff you-
SJWs today with the
stuff
Ho Train?
The characters you can get away with now, definitely not.
I mean, it would just go off the rails.
It's a different world.
There's no one even close to like anything. Who's the most
Controversial?
un-PC wrestler in the WWE right now?
I think it's probably the New Day. I think that they are
The
the ones.
Hootios?
Yeah, they're the ones who push the line the most.
And they're not even. That's not even that bad.
Yeah, it's not. But like they say the most like innuendos and stuff.
Okay, I can
like
see
they're
that. It's more adult humor.
Yeah.
I like how every time Shane McMahon fights now that like they really push the his
Shoot,
MMA.
that one. That's what I was looking
like,
for.
His
This.
horrible punches.
Like, you know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about, right?
that's
Like
the
they
one
would-
right
That's the
there.
one I was looking for. When he did this
trains.
shit.
What is this one?
Jumps off
Is
the
that
fucking
WWE?
scaffold.
I saw that live. Yeah.
Until
I was like, oh shit. Especially because it's the owner's son.
When Steve Blackman hit.
yeah. He jumps off the scaffolding.
Was this a
Look at
pay
him.
per view?
That's fucking high. That's
And that's not
Oh,
Kevin Nash.
I
That
remember
is
this
Test.
too.
Yeah, it's was it? Oh yeah. Okay, yeah.
the big
Rest
leap.
in peace,
The Big
Test.
Show. Test is dead.
Yeah, he died.
forgot.
10 years ago, I think.
Test, yeah, that's another. He was another one. You know who I don't see anymore? Probably doesn't do commentary anymore. It was Taz. Does he do commentary?
No,
anymore?
he's gone.
He has a podcast.
Oh, about wrestling?
Yeah.
Poor guy. They bought ECW and they told him, "Hey, you're not wrestling for us. Sorry." He was like, he was the biggest.
Oh, he went to ECW
Well,
after WWE.
No. WWE bought ECW and
Oh.
all their contracts, and Taz was a part of that. Because he went back. He was in WCW for a while, and then he went back to ECW.
Because I remember he was commentating on like the Sunday night show.
Yeah, and then they basically
But
said,
didn't
"We'll give you a
Taz wrestle
job."
for a while though?
Yeah.
Not WWE.
Yeah, he wrestled against Kurt Angle at Royal
Did he?
Rumble.
Dude,
yeah.
there was
Interesting.
Prince-
As a surprise opponent.
They made him. They made it very quick. Like let him know he was not going to be featured.
You want to know how I know that wrestling will never be the same?
Why?
Because there was a character named Prince Albert,
Oh,
and you didn't like.
He
when
trains people now.
That went right over my head as a little
Right.
kid. But I remember
over my head.
finding out what a Prince Albert was because of that.
Prince Albert is a piercing.
still don't
It's a
know.
dick piercing.
Oh, gross.
Yeah.
And he had a bunch of piercings on his face, but that's why he was called.
And he
Prince
was bald.
Albert. Yeah.
Bald
That's
and hairy.
hilarious.
So
And
he's
like,
supposed to be like a pierced up.
I didn't know
Definitely
that.
went over my
pierced
head.
up dick.
Yeah, you did, yeah.
You didn't know that? Well, see, there you go. That's my point. That's because you can't argue that that's not why his character was named that.
Well, Jerry the King Lawler would always talk about the puppies,
Yeah, puppy.
and it was whenever the
And he has
girls
a
came out,
shaved
he was
head,
talking
too.
about their tits.
Because they would actually show
Yeah,
their tits in the
yeah.
Attitude Era.
They
That
started
was
to
another
just
thing
call him
too.
Albert,
Like
though.
there was a thing when DX was a thing. That they were another people who released like compilation tapes,
Right.
the uncensored, like because they would literally have chicks show their tits at the events, and then obviously you have the camera crews recording it, and then they'd release
He
like a
looks like a
mixtape of it,
penis.
and you could buy it, and you could see a little tits. And they had one for you didn't see Sable's tits, but like they would do like all the divas had tapes too, where it was just like people recording them as they're getting their photos taken and
Yeah.
they talk. But like that's how it was back in the day, because there's all this shit that we're talking about right now would all be on YouTube.
Now
Yeah.
women actually wrestle. How
Well,
bad is that, huh?
And
People
competitively.
Yeah, they're
wrestled
good,
when
though.
I was.
Yeah, they're
Trish Stratus is a wrestler.
But they're more like
but Trish Stratus never had a 30-minute match.
they're
though.
more skilled.
All right, we
That's
only got like 5 minutes left, so let's.
56.
We told people that we talk about
What else?
Jay-Z's
Jay-Z.
new.
So in the previous, we did a reaction video to Jay-Z's newest video, the OJ story, and I proposed a question on that video. Do you find Jay-Z's 1 million albums to be legitimate or not? And before you answer, I'm going to preface it to basically explain why I'm even asking that. So
What do you mean by 1 million albums? Like his albums are no longer platinum?
No. His album got certified platinum already. He already sold 1 million.
Oh, this
albums.
one.
This
Okay.
brand new one.
Okay.
And normally you'd be like, okay, that's cool. But the fact of the matter is, not one CD has been produced yet. I think. it's
all
just
through
Tidal only
It's
right
all
now.
through Tidal right now.
So Tidal, and I don't know if you know what Tidal is,
I
but
don't know
Tidal
what
is
that means.
basically like Spotify, but just for Jay-Z's.
it's a different.
Like whoever
service.
the groups and artists that Jay-Z approves.
Oh, it's a subscription-based
Right,
service.
exactly.
Okay,
And
I
so
heard something about
everyone who's subscribed to Tidal and who's a Sprint customer, both of those people have free access to the album. They can download it, okay? So a few years ago, I think it was for either Kanye's album or Jay-Z's last album.
It was Kanye.
Kanye, okay. The RIAA changed the
parameters.
the criteria
Right.
for because before it was you sell a million physical CDs or records and that's it. That's it.
that. Right.
Now it's if people go out of their way to make an attempt at a download, it counts. So a million people have downloaded Jay-Z's album, right? But that's not the same thing as someone going down to Best Buy and buying the album. So I'm asking
It's
you,
just-
I mean,
do you
that's-
think it should be I think it should be a digital million.
It doesn't
You have
count.
a digital platinum.
Okay, because it's part of a subscription service where you can get other stuff for the one-time fee.
Most people are going for Jay-Z
Yeah.
though, to be fair.
Well, okay, that's fine, but it doesn't count. I mean, if it has a million downloads on iTunes, that counts. But because it's on this service,
Plus Sprint too. If you're a
plus Sprint,
Sprint
yeah.
customer, you can just get it for free.
yeah, no, that's
Even if you're Tidal or not.
yeah, this shit ain't platinum. That's not real.
See, so that's what I thought. Now it doesn't mean.
I mean, if if the album dropped and then he got 1 million subscribers to the service because of the album, then you can make an argument. But
well, see, that's
Let's
okay.
see.
So Kanye, so there's a controversy right now because on one of the Jay-Z tracks, Jay-Z disses Kanye and says like, "I paid you 20 million, you didn't give me shit, right? You just
Right.
went crazy." Well, Kanye, he's suing Jay-Z right now
my
because
God.
in the lawsuit he basically says that when I dropped my album, the subscribers went up like 2.5 million just for
Right.
me, and I was the first big release. So like you can't say I didn't deliver. Like there's a big more than that, but that goes to your point where it's like it's basically like paying for the album because I think Life of Pablo was the first one for the title, like the major title.
Yeah, they have 3 million subscribers right now.
And so yeah, 3 million and 2.5 are from Kanye's album.
I mean, is it still available on iTunes or is it
No, now
exclusively?
everything, like I think
on
it's
the
just I think
service?
it's just like an exclusive for like a month
like,
or two, and
yeah.
then you can go out and buy it at Best Buy.
like
But,
you can get the new iPhone from AT&T for the first month, and then after
Right.
that, everybody gets
because
it.
if you look at the physical album sales, I think not for this album, but for the other ones like that, like there's like no one's selling 1 million albums.
Right.
No one sells
No
albums
one.
anymore. That's
Yeah,
another
exactly.
thing.
So make it a digital. I don't think it's a don't promote it like you sold 1 million copies. I'm not saying that the music's
They
bad
just said
or
he
it's
went
not
platinum.
popular, but
yeah.
it's you can't. Let me put it this way: if Michael Jackson platinum album is not the same as this platinum album, that's what I'm saying. You just can't.
I'm with you on that. I
'Cause there's
definitely
just
agree with you.
no.
What do you guys feel?
It's two different things.
How do you feel, Fern? This is your generation now. This is definitely your age group.
Yeah.
How do you get your music?
Spotify.
So you don't buy music.
Or Apple
No, I
Music?
don't buy music.
You don't download it illegally
No, I don't
anymore.
download it.
Well,
No.
Did you ever?
No.
Well, see, I do. I still torrent my music, but I do.
the best way to do it.
Because I hate Spotify.
Apple
because-
Music's. That's what I have.
Okay, and you use Apple Music.
I don't know.
So-
Why not just buy the fucking music?
Because Spotify's free.
Because it's $10 a month and you can listen to every fucking
well,
song.
to be honest with you, like for me personally, I don't listen. I listen to a lot of old things. Like I don't really infuse new music into my rotation very often. So I probably could now at this point buy it. But back in the day when I was actually listening to music, there was no way I would have been able to like feed the amount of music I was listening to, like if I was buying their albums. To be honest, and that's just the luxury of being born when I was born. You know.
Okay.
It's like the same with Netflix. Why would you go buy all the movies on Netflix?
Well, because it doesn't benefit people. That's why it doesn't benefit the artists. If you don't if you don't buy their music, then they're not going to have money to make music.
They make their money off like the concert tours.
Yeah, but now the record labels are taking a piece of their tours when they didn't before. It used to be like the record label would keep the music sales, the CD sales, and then the band would get a percentage of it, and then the band would keep all the touring and merchandise stuff. But now because the download era has eliminated the
Yep.
Album sales.
buying albums, now the record company
They have
is
to
like
make that money somehow.
taking
and
it. Yeah, like basically, it's like if you can afford to pay for your own studio time, you don't need a record label at all.
Not anymore. Not with
Not
Chance. Chance. It's just letting people know that this can be done, even though everyone knows you can do it. It's just about like.
Well, the other thing that the label subscribes to that gives you is promotion. They give you the money to it gives you access. It gives people accessibility to you because look at us. We have a podcast and we
Right.
have a
If
limited
we had
amount.
Warner Brothers behind us.
Yeah, a
then-
lot more people would be
Right.
listening and watching and downloading our shit.
This article saying that it has been downloaded illegally a million times.
What? His new album?
His new album.
Okay, so you don't get a platinum record for it. That's what I'm saying. That's my point, though. I mean, it's not my point, but that adds to my point. Is like, yeah, over 1 million people have downloaded every fucking album because it's illegal, but you don't get a reward for it.
Yeah, back in the day, you had to go to the record store and pay for it.
And I
That took
remember,
effort.
Now there's no
remember
record
going
stores.
to Tower Records.
Yeah.
There's no more records.
Yeah, but you can buy this album at Best Buy, at Target, and anywhere. You can buy this
There's
shit
still
probably at
Amoeba in
7-Eleven.
Hollywood.
Yeah.
Yeah, Amoeba. I mean,
Best Buy has the music selection has
we
been
don't.
going down.
We're not.
Like they don't.
We're fortunate enough. We live in California. We're not a Walmart-based society. Walmart probably doesn't have this album. It has the censored version of this, but we can shop anywhere. You know, if we lived in backcountry where there's only Walmart.
Well, I'm not gonna buy it regardless. So that's that. But it's gonna wrap it up for us this week, guys. Please subscribe, like the video, download on iTunes.
Yes, all that.
All that stuff. And we'll see you next week when we talk about Spider-Man Homecoming.
Yeah, and whether or not. Oh, you know what's? Oh, never mind. That'll do it.
And if you like this video, check out our other videos up on the screen.
Do that.
Let's do it.